Hello everyone, it's Cherie. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a junk journal with me, and I'm going to be documenting my son's 13th birthday, which was back in March. So these are the pieces that I knew I wanted to include, which is a birthday card for my grandma, so it's his great-grandmother, and some photos and some movie tickets. Like I said, his birthday's in March, and my father and my husband, they're also in March. My dad is actually March 1st, my husband is March 2nd, and my son is March 3rd. So we kind of celebrated my son's birthday over the weekend. He got to have his best friend come and stay, and every year we go to my dad's for a party, and we kind of celebrate all three at the same time. And please excuse my morning voice. I have to do these voiceovers early in the morning, otherwise I wouldn't be able to do them, and there'd just be total madness in the background. So I really wanted to put this birthday card in there, but it was a little too tall. It poked out of my journal quite a bit. So I went ahead and just trimmed it down to make it fit. And I also wanted to use that envelope as well. So I was like, well, I could probably just make a pocket out of this envelope. So I went ahead and just basically gutted the whole thing. And my journal is starting to get kind of chunky, so I'm trying to be conscientious of what I'm putting in it, because I don't want to bulk it up too much too quick, because I still have quite a bit of room in here. So I just decided to go ahead and just gut the whole thing, and then I just added some extra washi to help secure it down. And like I said, we celebrated it over the whole weekend. We went to the movies one night. We went out for breakfast with my in-laws, and then we went to my dad's for a party. So it was a really fun weekend for him. I wanted it to be somewhat memorable. And I wanted to know what he wanted to do, and that was what he wanted to do. So oh, sorry, my thoughts left my brain for a second there. These are some linens that I have. They're from 3 different shops, I think. I just went on a printing spree and printed up a bunch of linens. And they're from Roxy Creations by Sarah and Roxy Creations. So that's 2 different shops. They're sisters. And then the other one of them is from Willowbound Journals. So I like these 2, and I like the one on the right because it fit that whole page, and I thought I could end up putting a photo in the middle of it. But I opened up this card, and I was thinking, well, maybe I could, stick a photo in here too. At first I was thinking, well, maybe I could journal in it, but then I was like, well, I like the idea of using a photo in there from breakfast. So I was like, yeah, I think I'll do that. But I wasn't sure, so I went back to this photo. And it's just a photo of my dad and my stepmother. They are super health conscious, and my stepmom does CrossFit. So whenever we go to their house, we usually have some sort of weightlifting competition. Anyways, so this is a pack of Tim Holtz wallpaper, and I've had my eye on it for a little while, but I've just never picked it up. And I went to Hobby Lobby recently, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get it and try it out. And then I was thinking I would use this left side as somewhat of a, like a scrappy, like a 12 by 12 scrappy page, but without all the bulk. So, I slimmed his photo down, trimmed it down, and backed it on a Project Life card. But that wallpaper wasn't quite wide enough. And I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, well, you know what? Let me just throw some washi tape on here. So I used some of that wide washi. That's from Washi Wednesday. And used it to, fill in that space there. And I like how that turned out. It brought me back to my 12 by 12 days. So I thought, well, let me go ahead and stitch around this just, to give it a more finished look, I guess. And I really like how that turned out. And then I added a little bit more washi just to kind of make it, just to add a little extra something and make it pop a little bit more. And I also recently purchased these Tim Holtz Washis, and I got them at Tuesday morning. They were really cheap, so I picked up like, I think 3 or 4 packs of them, because I have a few rolls of Tim Holtz Washi, but I didn't have very much, and I was like, it's such a good price, I can't pass it up, because they were like $3.99, I think, or $4.99 or something like that. So I'm liking how this looks, but I thought, it needs another little pop behind that photo, just so it doesn't quite look quite so blendy. And I just, went through these little cards that I have, just to give it a little background, and I stitched around his photo as well. So yeah, and I like how that looks too. So I did. It brought me back to my 12 by 12 days, which I think I'm going to start doing that. I mean, I do 12 by 12 every once in a while, but I think I want to start doing it more on a regular basis. And then I have this envelope of die cuts. They're just like miscellaneous die cuts or pieces that are left over from kits or ones that I don't have packaging for, and I just kind of stuck them all in this envelope. And I sped this up really fast so that y'all wouldn't have to sit here and watch me forever and a lifetime dig through all these die cuts. And so I just picked out some that I thought I could use throughout this spread. And I like that one because it says every day is a blessing. And I just kind of fiddled around with them, but I went with that one. And then there was this other little, that little arrow there, and it said with you on it, but I didn't like the arrow part. So I trimmed off the arrow part, and then I just kind of filled in that outline there with a pen. So it says every day is a blessing with you, and I like that. So then this whole spread I did over, I think, like 2 days, maybe 3 days, because I started it and then I couldn't finish it. I had to stop and then go back to it. But I kind of fudged it up here in a little bit. You'll see I make a mistake, but it's okay. I fixed it, and I like the end result. And then that's just like a little, I think it's a Mambi sticker, and I'm not quite sure how old it is. I don't know if they still make them, or I really don't know. But I love those little stick people. They're just too darn cute. So I have this other little cut apart sheet, and I think it's from Webster's Pages, and it's an older one as well. And the top side says family, and then the back side says, well, it has a little nest with a couple of eggs in it, and it says I loved you from the start. And I wanted to use that as a journaling card so I could write directly to my son and stick it in there. So in this photo, my son he's gotten old enough to where he can try to work, or not work, but he gets in on like the little competitions that they do. I don't do the weightlifting competitions. I like to stand on the sidelines and just snap the pictures. Well, my brother was helping him with the bar. See, I don't even know the correct terminology for it. And then his friend went to go do it, Jackson, and I guess Jackson didn't realize how heavy just the bar. And I actually caught it on camera, so I included it in this video in a little bit, just for fun and for memory's sake for me too. So this is where I fudged up. I kind of put that card in a little too close, so the paper wasn't folding over properly on one side. I mean, the whole book closed fine, but I didn't want to have to pull that card up and put it down again. So I don't know what the heck I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. I ended up having to move the card, but I cut that piece of paper thinking that would help in half, but no, it didn't help at all. So this is just a little piece of paper from some packaging that I got. I'm not quite sure. I know people have had that paper before, like I've seen it on Etsy, but I can't remember what it's called. So I just tore a little strip down, and I was thinking that I could use it as like a little journaling spot right there. And yeah, I liked how that looked. So I'm going to go ahead and input that little video clip that I was telling y'all about. It's really short. It's not that long.
Yeah, he's already hurt. Alright. Good.
Oh, that's easy. I got it.
Oh, that's easy. Oh, yeah.
Shaker.
Slow and steady, kid.
It's easy.
One more. It's all in the journey, man. There you go. Good job, buddy.
Journey.
I got the little fork.
That's light work.
Lightweight.
All right, he's not my kid, so make sure you're extra careful with him, okay?
Extra hard one.
I'm not 50 pounds.
Just rest the weight right there on his stomach while he's in it. Push.
I thought he was pushing down.
He thought you were pushing down.
I thought he was pushing down. I'm not even talking. I thought he was pushing down. I thought he was pushing down.
So that was my little video. It cracks me up every time. Okay, so back to business. So I had that half a strip of paper that I didn't need to trim down, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm gonna just put my pictures here. So I have this Project Life card that I went ahead and put the photo on there, and then I'm putting some stickers here, there, and everywhere as well. And then that little label sheet that you can kind of see to the left there, that's a label sheet that I've had for ages. I'm just trying to get them all used up. And I was like, I'll just stick my photos here. And so it's just a photo from obviously when the guys were lifting their weights. And then my son and his friend were fishing something out of the pool. Something was left in there and they got it out. And I just liked it because it's really hard to get pictures of him. My two oldest ones, my oldest daughter and my son, they give me a hard time about taking their pictures. So I kind of have to sneak them. The youngest one, she'll smile all day for the camera. And then that card that I backed my son's photo on had something on it, but that word dream just happened to poke out there, and it was like, I was like, okay, let's go with it. I like it. And those are the photos from the movies that I took of me and my husband and my daughter. And then I have the boys were sitting behind us in the theater, so I was trying to snap a picture of them without them realizing it, but they did realize it, and of course they ducked their heads and little brats. So that's just another little tag there that I pulled out of that die cut envelope that I have, or the envelope with the die cuts. That was one of the ones that I pulled out. And I thought it would be good right there. And I was thinking, well, I could journal on it or add, something there, some phrase stickers or something. And then that's just a little piece that says friends. I don't even remember where it came from. It's really old too. And I just stapled and then it on there. And then this is just a book illustration, and it's just two boys, and I liked it just because I felt like it represented them. So I just I wanted to use it. I think I stuck it down. I can't remember if I did right then or not. Sorry. So I still, oh no, I didn't. So I had that paper, that same graph paper that was from some packaging, and I just glued it on the side just so it would fill in that white space. And then there's my little scrap of ledger paper that I did not have to tear, but I did. And I was thinking I could just use that little space there to journal on as well. And then here I am back with these labels, trying to use them up. And I like that one, but it did have a little pink flower on it, so I just made it to where it would fall off the edge of the page and trimmed off that little pink flower. Excuse my voice, I'm sorry. So now I'm back with these transparent phrase stickers, and I'm trying to get them used up. I've used them in quite a few videos lately, and I like them. I really do. I like them a lot. I mean, there's no rush to get them used up. I just want to make sure that I'm using them, you know? So I'm just flipping through them, and I found one that said happy birthday, because there's not a whole lot of birthday theme going on, which is fine, but other than the card and stuff. And then the binding there was getting, wasn't feeling it, so I ended up having to trim it. I was just adding a little bulk there. And then that one says boys is a noun, a noise with dirt on it. I thought it was cute. Memories, obviously. And let's see. Oh, and then I just kind of went through my stash, and I found this other sheet of boy stickers, and I found one with the arrow, and I liked it. And then that says happiness defined. And then this one says hello there. And then those on the top say it's all good, don't miss this, ha ha ha, because it's funny. So now I'm about to do my journaling, and I'm just kind of writing just a quick little note on that card to him. And the date that we went there. And then I start my journaling, and I started on that page, and I just continued it through the next page and stuff like that. It's not separate journaling for each picture. I just kind of wrote about the whole weekend pretty much. So yeah, so this was a little difficult, but excuse me. But I got it done, and I'm really happy with the end result. I did kind of run out of a little bit of room there, so I just thought I would go ahead and journal on that book illustration. And I think that might be it. And then I show some close-ups. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope y'all have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next one.